All right, review episode 5. And this is where I just go over my old reviews and say, hey, are they still relevant? Like the Shanes and things like that I talked about last episode. This is the newest episode. Where do we leave off? The WAF factor, the AKGs. Oh, here we go. Sansa clip. I think I didn't talk about the Sansa clip. By the way, wallpaper, available in the description. Sansa clip has always been that like one portable that it doesn't matter if it's 2020 or 2018 or 2014 or 2005. You get that because you want the smallest little fucking thing that you don't care about. SD card hit next. Is there even a new one? Like that was 5 years ago. And that was a Clip Plus, and there was a Rockbox edition. If you don't know what Rockbox is, it's a add-on firmware so that you could run like just different firmware on any player. And I haven't used it enough. Like I don't have a dedicated enough player. Well, I'm Zeus and I get like fucking 7 of them every 6 months to try. So it's not like I'm stuck with one for 2 years. I'm like, I really wish I could Rockbox this and use it. So Rockbox has never been super on my radar. But I'm trying to like monitor on the little phone down there. And it's weird because I see my head tilt. It's like a Monogatari. It's like a Shaft series. And I'm like, do I need to fix this? And it also does the I have it in what's it called? The thing where it steadies you, and it's really making me feel seasick looking at that. So we have got the Taxar Pro 80 sound demo redo, AKG Caves sound demo redo, the Scythe 1100s. Those fucking speakers, I was one of those speakers I got, reviewed, and they disappeared from the internet. No one could buy them. And they were great. They were like a Hi-Fi driver, a little box. They kind of remind me of those, the Yamos I have up there. I forget what those are called. We'll get to them eventually in this. And I remember there was like 12 pair available after that review, and they just disappeared off the internet. You can never find them again. So look how deep they are. Oh my God, they're so deep. They go so deep. I don't think anyone, if you have Scythe 1100s and if you're watching this video, please in the comments, do you still have them? Are they still amazing? Because I remember them being amazing. The APC power conditioner filter, a little 2-prong. It was perfect. Why do I want to yawn every time I do this? Maybe I shouldn't eat things and then do this at like 2 in the morning. Let me adjust this down a little bit. I'm getting like an average. It's weird. I don't ever like monitor where I'm looking, and my head works fine. But that little power conditioner, but yay big, about that thick, 2 prongs, that is what my 2 crowns in the living room are hooked up to. They're just hooked up to that thing. So that gets switched on and off with my like appliance switch, and then that is the power conditioner. And I don't think power conditioners are odd because you either need them or you don't. And I mean, it doesn't hurt to add one, but it's not gonna like make your music better. It's just going to try to keep any power fluctuations or noise out if there is any. Really, if you don't have any, you don't need it. If you've got abnormal power, you kind of want a UPS, a pure sine wave UPS. So you look for that instead. The April Patreon drawing. Oh my God, I remember doing this. This was like a giveaway thing. I would just pull a name out of a hat. I used to print out the names of every one of my patrons. I had a few enough amount of patrons I could actually print everyone out their name. And then I realized, shit, when people are not patrons anymore and they leave, then I have to take their names out of this random printed. Yeah, no, it was not good. Yard sales are a better system. Zhao, the subwoofer crawl, my first subwoofer crawl video, where I literally crawl on the ground with the camera in my head. For those of you who don't know what the subwoofer crawl is, when you want to put a subwoofer in a space, like if this is your room and this is your desk, or actually right where I'm sitting, if this is where I'm sitting and this is where I'm going to listen to music, I would move my seat out of the way. I'd get like a stack of boxes or something, put the subwoofer where my head is, like here, in this space, in this general space, and then I would crawl around where the subwoofer could potentially go, and wherever the bass sounds good there, then this subwoofer that's where my head is will go there, and my head will sound as good as the bass is there. It's I don't think I could do that in the new house. It's gonna be fucking murderous. But yeah, no, subwoofer crawl is interesting the way the physics work, because you can't determine that shit without actively listening. Aluminum extrusion projection build part 1, projection screen stuff. There's I think I linked it to the last review. There's an entire post on, I forget which forum it is. I should copy that whole post to Hi-Fi Guides now, since that is like my baby. I should have it all on there. But I was building the projection screen. Ultimate speaker stands, the Doom stacks. Still have those. They're still running on Martin Logan 10-inch. You know what? I'm gonna set those up in the new house. Those are, you know what? I know exactly where I'm setting those up too. I'm gonna fucking rock those things. Those things were great. I'd like to build a newer version of those with bigger subs. I'd probably use oh my god, if I could use, I'd have to get Emotiva to sell me 2 of their S12s. But they don't have the right hookups, so it'd be harder to do. I have to have a mini DSP control it all. Beyerdynamic T90s. Bottle of alcohol. That was the first time I drank on camera, because those things are, and look where I'm doing reviews. I'm literally standing in the living room with a table and my roommate's table and another one of his tables stacked on it, because I had no other place to do reviews at the time. I was just moved in. So I'm literally reviewing standing in the living room with a stack of tables. I hated the T90s. They were the fucking worst. Murder treble. Just like Tesla driver, you mean go to a hospital in a Tesla because your ears are bleeding. How many views? 210,000 views in the DIY 104-inch projection screen with Epson. This was a good video. There's like 2 parts of this video, and they're both great. And I'm gonna watch them in a couple months probably and go, wow. And then I'm probably gonna have to make a new one for the new projection screen, whatever that is. I'm considering building one instead of buying one again, but it's like the bigger you go, the harder it is to DIY something, because then you're just getting materials and you're buying. I'd love to make it out of, I might have to find a place that sells extra wide pieces of spandex. Because that ivory and black spandex combo is amazing. So here we have a review of I never hit start on this. I'm the worst. All right, how long have I been talking for? 5 minutes? I was at it for 19 minutes. I am the worst, the literal worst. Martin Logan LX16s. Beautiful speaker, beautiful looking, expensive as shit, no low end, even though it had that giant port. I remember them not having like any low end at all, and one of the finest sounding tweeters I've ever heard was that Air Motion Martin Logan. It was beautiful. My god. I'm using the Scythes as speaker stands. I remember doing that because they were so wide and deep. I just laid them down and I used speakers as speaker stands. That was lead Haxter levels right there. Z-How height dominance. Damn, I did that 5 years ago. I thought it was a more modern video. Anyway, I have a theorem that I like to throw out there that, and this is still to this day, if your sound, like people are always like ear level. You want ear levels for listening to music. So you sit down in your listening position and everything's ear level and straight ahead. And that's fine, but put it 6 inches higher. But you shouldn't. It should be ear level. No. Shut the fuck up. Put it 6 inches higher. Put it a foot higher. Don't put it like 2, 3, 4 feet higher. But just make the listening position, instead of you hearing the vocals come from there, make them come from there. Just above where is normal. And I guarantee you, it'll sound better. It'll just sound better, and it's not really better. It doesn't change the acoustics. It's the way the speaker. But human beings, we're afraid of bears. We're afraid of big things, and big things scare us. And having the sound come not from in front of you, but slightly above you, brings that, like when you're sitting in front of a stage. They don't sing at ear level in front of a stage. They sing from above you when you're in the front row. So that's like a thing. That's a thing with me. I'm not a huge fan of like put the speaker exactly at ear level. I just want to go up a little bit. Just make me up. So that's a whole thing. And I could probably do a second revision of that now that it's been 5 years. And yeah, it's 100% accurate. 100%. Beyerdynamic 990s. So, did the T90s, hated them. Did the 990s, hey Jude. I couldn't hate them as fully because I grasped the concept of how good they were for gaming and things like that. But I would not on my preferred. This is back when Beyerdynamic was not on my good list. They were my shit list. I did 770s. I like those. I hadn't even gotten to the 880s yet. They just did the T90s and these DT990s, and I was like, oh my god, Beyerdynamic is just murder treble, and everyone should go home. So it was like, get out of my face. X2s, Fidelio X2s. How did this go down? Hold on. Every time. I don't know. I'm allergic to doing reviews now. I should do these at like 2 in the morning. Or not 2 in the morning. I got the X2s. Liked them so much, I went online to buy them because someone loaned those to me. Found the X1s on Amazon. Bought those instead because they didn't have as high a headband. The main changes from the X1 to the X2 was the headband went from brown to black, and they made the headband taller. And I love my X1s because they're a shorter headband, so it doesn't fit everybody, but it fits me perfectly. And they had like much better colors than the X2. But now the X2 HR is literally on my wall. So, I mean, I guess we're moving on from that sort of shit. So, always another 200,000 views. Always a good choice is the new X2 HRs are solidly on my wall, and there's no reason to take them off. Oh my god, did I do a real? None of these are thumbnails. None of these are thumbnails that I've made. No, it's just a screenshot. I think this might be the first thumbnail. JBL. Yeah, look at that. The Z Reviews JB. Look, I put the Z in there. LSR 305 was my first thumbnailed video. 5 years. So this progress. I like that angle. I like that angle more than the angle I use currently for speaker pictures, where I go straight on. But I also put the title here, so I wouldn't be able to show everything. But I had the fireplace in there. But I didn't do that till my roommate moved out, because this is... I'm confused a little bit, because I'm looking, and that's my roommate's setup. He had a piece of furniture there, and a center channel is his stuff here, and then I put my stuff. He literally had his sound system, and then I had my sound system outside of it. So it was a little bit weird in the living room. We had like a power struggle. And then that's blatantly in front of my fireplace, and the whole thing 5 years ago. So I guess, yes. Are the LSR 305 still relevant? Yes. Are the 305Ps still relevant? Yes. Would I tell you to get the 305Ps? No. Get the 306Ps. Zeus, description. By the way, everything I talk about will be listed in the description, and I'll only link the ones that are relevant, or if I, like, 305Ps, absolutely. LSR 305s are the old version. I use them. There's one right there. In fact, that one there is that one there. They're my permanent ventrilo speakers. When I'm in just voice chat, and I'm just doing things around the house, I have a speaker here and a speaker in the living room, and that's where cheese comes out of. And they're perfect. They've been running for a decade, fuck, it feels like. And hi. They slightly improved it with the P series. They put a little more dampening behind the thing, and they I would say they prettied up the front, but they kind of uglied up the front because they made it shiny for some fucking reason. But then the 306 came out, only slightly bigger, only slightly more money, way better, like just more low end, more balanced. I love the 306s. And they're like a standard. So everyone's like 305, 305, 305. Why bother? Get the 306. It does not add much room or much cost, and it's a better speaker. Superlux 668. This is sound demo. That's a sound demo. That's a Beyerdynamic. Did I talk about the 668? I mean, I got the sound demo here. I just recently found those in my box. Those were, with the pad change, the most sound-stagey headphone I'd ever used. They weren't very clean. They weren't very accurate. But holy fuck, the width. I remember telling my friends to buy those for gaming, and they were all impressed. Like, everyone who bought that. Plus, Superlux has that system where it's just like a 1-inch headphone cable, and when you pull it, it just pulls out and detaches, which is great for gamers who are gonna fuck their headphone cables up. My first 880 review. Not the 600 ohm, because I now have the 600 ohm up there, and I called it God. Hi. But only on specific amplifiers that have insanely too much power, and you think it's going to work on everything. Oh, that sounds like it's making sound. It doesn't sound that good. You got to put it on the right amp. But I think that was a broken set. I had like 3 sets of 880s before that one, or 2 before that one. That set, which was broken, then another set that was not broken that was actually really decent, but I never gave them like a lot of credit, and then this 600 ohm set, which is like, ha 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 ha. So yeah, 880 is still relevant. I would aim for the 600 ohm version. The other versions are good, but the 600 ohm version is the version. It's the version. Power Sound Audio MT110s. I tried to get Power Sound Audio to sponsor the room at RMAF, and they said we have too many orders ready. We don't need any more promotion. Like, they weren't being dicks about it. They were being a little bit dicks about it. Like, I want to bring your speakers to RMAF. And they were like, nah. So I get it. But I mean, at the same time, the only thing bigger than those is my heresies. Like, the heresies is my way of getting a bigger speaker than the Power Sound Audio MT110 which are an American, both American made, so at least that's good. Those use a 10-inch and a compression horn. The Heresies use a 12-inch and 2 compression horns. They're also much prettier. These things are like sprayed with like bed liner. They're like bed liner level of looks, and they weigh like 45 pounds each, and they look like PA speakers, but they had no low end. 10-inch driver, and just like the Heresies, no low end, but my God, could they destroy your house. In fact, I have a really big space I'm going to need to fill sound in. They make a tower out of that. I went to the towers. The towers are like 200 pounds each or something, and they're not super expensive. It's like $1,800 for a pair. It's like, wow, that's reasonable for fucking the heaviest speaker on earth. So I'm wondering, maybe I'll get a set of those for review if they are interested now. They sent those along with the this is my first taste of giant subwoofer, by the way. Wow, the screen's up and running, and I had to, oh man, life was good back in 5 years ago. The Power Sound Audio V1500 and S1500 subwoofers. And that was my first taste of like monster subwoofers. And I remember they tried to send it to me before I moved into this apartment. They wanted to send me the those subs when I was reviewing in that little space at my grandparents' house in the Bronx. And I couldn't even fucking fathom it. Like just trying to get the subwoofers up the narrow ass 1940 steps that I had to crawl up that was covered in plastic so that the dripping thing, like no. Like, look, hold off. I'll move. I may have moved so I could review those subwoofers. That might have been the actual origin story of Z Reviews. Was I moved for that reason. But yeah, okay. So those are definitely still relevant. I know they make bigger ones. The PSA, I think he moved away from SVS. I think he was the V in SVS, the guy that made Power Sound Audio. And I respect him for moving away and doing his own thing. Never quite, like, it's just brutally basic stuff. I hope their new stuff is a little bit more advanced. Bye, thanks for stopping by. Hope their new stuff is a little more advanced, because I would love to make love to your booty. If it was just bigger, badder, like they're just they are the giant meme speaker companies, PSA. Z Boombox, prototype for sale. I sold a Z Reviews Boombox, I built that out of Dayton's. I still I was going to point to that down there, but it's actually not there. It's somewhere else because I'm moving, so things are getting moved. But I used to build boom boxes, and I still own like 3 of them. And I would love to build. I'd love that to be a thing, but I don't want to spend the time to build them anymore. Like, it was cute when it was like a hobby, and like, oh look, if I build this and I sell it for this much, and I could make $100. That was like $4 an hour. That was like a $4 an hour profit when I was doing that. I would have to build like 30 of them, and I'm sure they'd sell now. I have enough popularity now. I'm like, hey, I'm selling a boombox. Boom, sold. How much? 300. Sold. But I would have to talk to companies. I want to make it so that you can actually clamp your own speakers into a boombox frame. Just a battery pack, amplifier, some sort of creative solution for the speaker wires so that you could take this one speaker off at least, and make them wider. But I would love to just have like a carry handle, like with whatever speaker you desire attached to it. I mean, only crazy assholes would do it, but I mean, that's high. Crazy assholes. The Sennheiser Momentum 2. Why did it have one? Only the JBL had a thumbnail. This doesn't have a thumbnail anymore. We're back to no thumbnails. The Sennheiser Momentum 2 over-ears. Those were some of the prettiest headphones I've ever used. They didn't sound terrible. They didn't blow my mind. And they made weird sounds in the wind when the wind blew past the thing, because of the way they were designed. But I mean, I think that's going to get linked. I think the Momentum... Tell me, is anyone in the comments, do you still have Momentums? Are those still a thing that you want to like use? Because they were really fucking pretty, and I really, really liked them. But it was like, I don't know, they were too expensive. They were like $250. That was back when like a $250 portable headphone was absolutely... Holy shit, that's absurd. What, are you fucking made it of money? I didn't get it. I didn't get it. But I mean, now I'd kind of get it. Like B&O H6s are some of my favorite. Partially from the looks and partially from the sound. I did the Beats by Dre Studio Revision 1. Those were legit. That was a 10-minute review. How the hell did I guess I was just angry. The sound demo lasts longer than the review. Yeah, they were shit. Oh my god, those original Revision 1 Beats were just horse trash. By the way, I like my Firefox better than this because this doesn't have a smooth scroll. Like, it's definitely doing a softer scroll, but I have an actual smooth wheel add-on for Firefox, so everything goes super. Can I demo that? What am I opening up? Wait, look at that. Oh my god, look at the look at the smooth scrolling. And I can go fast too. Yeah, you can go faster or slower, but I can slowly scroll smooth waifus on Firefox. And I haven't looked for add-ons for Chrome. I'm sure everyone's like, Chrome is the best, you gotta have this add-on. Maybe I'll add it before the next one, because I have to use Chrome, so it's weird. There's something weird going on with YouTube. The Maritech are... Oh, I did another flashlight because I started the channel. My first Z review was of flashlights because I love the little Maritech AAAs. And this is the RAA, which is a right angle AA, which is... Have I had that for 5 years? Because I still use that to this day. Like it's magnetized to my microwave, and I use it all the fucking time. It's a little AA flashlight with a right angle head. So you just tighten it. It goes 1, 2, 3. What am I using that for? I was using that to look at... I use it to look into my toaster oven a lot at night because my toaster oven doesn't have a light in it, and I want to know if it's perfectly browned in there. And it's just like, okay, what makes good gaming headphones? Holy shit, 336,000 views. Gaming videos always get the views, and I could absolutely make one a week if I wanted to be an asshole, but that's not who I am. And as much as I love getting views and subscribers, I don't want to disappoint people that I'm like not dedicated gamer asshole. So I do them like every few months. I'll come up and do like a, hey everybody, we're talking about gaming stuff. Because gamers, they don't know it yet, but they're soon to be, they are the perfect breed for audiophilia because they've already spent so much money on microtransactions and gaming keyboards and RGB fans. And it's like, if I could focus their energies, and by energies I mean wallets, towards good audio products, they might accidentally become audiophiles. So that's it's like a good gateway. Make a couple of these videos. This one was 5 years ago. My last one, like last year's, at nearly or more views than that. It's always like one of the top 5 videos every month, even though it came out like months ago. I don't remember what I talked about. I think it was just open versus closed, and you can just ramble about gaming stuff. Like it's not like you have to like go get trained in France to talk about gaming stuff. It's just like it's basic knowledge, you know. And people think it's headphones. I'm back to this. Gaming headphones are like specific for something, and they can be, but usually if they're specific for gaming, they're not good headphones. So you might as well just find good headphones that are good at that thing and also for other things. So we're back to what the fuck is going on? I don't know what's going on, because this is back to now my roommate's layout. Home Theater 101 Z reviews 5 years ago. Don't even know what I talked about in that one, but I mean, that's old. What did I even talk about in Home Theater 101 5 years ago? MPOW 4.0 Bluetooth adapter. I'm thinking BTR3, BTR3K, BTR5, Ear Studio 100. If you really need a bottom of the barrel MPOW Bluetooth adapter, I'll link one in the description, because I still have them here. They're just here. Give me Ear Studios, and where is it? Here we go. Here's one of the newer MPOWs that I had to buy to try it because they were so good back in the day. I sucked their dick so hard 5 years ago. I just had to buy the new one, and the new ones are like, they're okay. But I literally have piles of Ear Studios. Piles of them, and I don't even use them anymore because I have a BTR5 and it's the best one. Link to the BTR5 Zeos in the description. Sennheiser HD598. These were... That should have been an easy win. 6 minute and 38 second video. I don't know why it's so short. I don't think I liked them that much. Or maybe I did like it. I honestly don't remember. I know everyone loved them, and I was just like, eh. I wasn't going to make up height for them. Did I try to go with a short 6 minute video for that reason? Did I want to keep everyone, like, the view time up? I don't know. That whole 500 series of Sennheiser is sort of like an oddity. It either... Nothing ever leaves like that series. Nothing is better than anything in the 600 series. 600, 650, 6XX, 660S are all better than the 500 series. They've done an amazing job of making sure nothing possibly sounds better or more enjoyable than those in that series. I don't get it. And they were also a weird color. That was when they were cream and brown. which knocked you a fanboy. Oh my God, unlisted. JBL Rape Take 1. You definitely cannot put the word rape in the title of a YouTube video anymore. In fact, just saying it, Rape, JBL Rape Take 1, 10 views, unlisted. That was just the opening. If you ever saw the opening of my JBL, I'm sure it's coming up. That was the first opening I actually like gave a shit about, because those speakers, those were the gateway drug speakers for me. Those were the gateway drug speakers for me. Because it's mostly been headphones and shit. As soon as I did the Studio 530s, my life changed. In fact, that's the set up there. Those are my originals. I have a brand new set in my other apartment, not even out of the box, just because I need a backup set. Speak of the devil, HD600s. Set was sent to me by a person, and I fucking loved them. And he was like, yeah, I'm trying to sell them, $200. And I'm like, sold! And so now they're mine, and now they're painted. Because those are when they were like the ugly specks, the worst. You want to know if the HD600s are still relevant in 2020? Yes. Yes, they are. There is a new revision of them where they look better, but at the same time, it's like, I didn't care. I just painted them and it was fun. They are one of the most amp revealing. I've determined that they are a great headphone, but only if you have the right amp to plug them into. I basically take them out every time I get anything that's tube-like or anything that's weird Class A. I just put them on the IFI, the Zen can, and I'm like, holy God. Especially with that fucking EQ for the 6XX. It's wild. And I'm going to end this one. Oh yeah, we'll start the next one on the shit stack. On the Xduoo TA-02, which was my first Xduoo product. And I have a picture on the screen of like a much bigger Xduoo, but that was a little tiny one. And I don't think I've ever been completely disappointed by an Xduoo product. Like even that Bluetooth one that I didn't, like I don't think Xduoo has ever failed me. They're batting like 900. So I think that's the end of this episode of a review. I only yawned like twice, which is great. Maybe I'll yawn again before the end. Description is filled with every product I talked about, but only linked to the ones that are relevant, or if there's an alternative that has been more modernized. We're still 5 years ago, so we got plenty of these to go. I figured we'd be like 4 years, maybe 4 years ago now, but no. And we haven't even gotten to the part where I've gotten to like daily videos. So this might be a series forever, depending on how many spaces I go between them. I wanted to make it like once a week or one every 2 weeks, and I've gone a little bit too far now. It's been like a month. So we'll continue this along. If you like these sort of videos, please tell me. If you like this channel, if you want more, this content, all these years, every video I'm talking about, paid for, rent and driving and gas by patrons, and wasn't Subscribestar back in the day, but it was basically patrons. So if you want to be a patron or a Subscribestar supporter, links in the comments and the description, and that's what's going to pay for my mortgage. So thank you very much. I got to keep the Z train running. So, you know, I do what I can for you guys. Wallpaper. I had Bitwolf edit me a bunch of verticals as 16:9s. So that's going to be real helpful in this sort of review thing. So we'll have a ton of nice wallpapers for this as well. Download that in the description. All wallpapers available on Patreon and Subscribestar. You can look up the original artists, although I'm not sure how IQDB or Source Now will handle it if I've added like this much white to it. But we could try that out. Anyway, that's that. This is this. Support the channel. $10 a month gets you into the private behind the scenes Telegram, which they've known about everything. They've seen the house. Those people are assholes. How dare they? But yeah, these are great. I get the little nostalgia trip, and I see how far I've come in this apartment, and it makes me a little bit sad. But it's like I can't wait to, because I look back at these and it's like, holy shit, what a primitive asshole you were, Z. And it was 5 years ago in this apartment. So I'm gonna, this new house, whatever I'm doing in it, 5 years from now, I'm gonna look back at that and be like, holy shit, Z, what a primitive asshole you were. So, you know, this is what life is. Hopefully you always look back at, you should always look back at your past and see how far you've improved. If you don't, if you look back and everything's exactly the same, try something new. Because that's the worst fucking fate, if anything. 29-minute video, I can actually see the length. It's perfect. We can let it go. See, now my OCD wants to make me just stare at the wallpaper until it's 30 minutes. Just gonna stare at it. Just gonna get closer and closer to the wallpaper. I don't think she's wearing underwear. But I mean, it's neither here nor there. It's nothing matters. So thank you for stopping by. Again, everything linked that I cared about, everything not linked I don't care about. and then on my desk, and then so much to move. Oh my god, space loss. See you tomorrow.